It's lovely to be back. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Langdon, thank you very much. Langdon earned a special place in my heart last year, as many of you who were here then will probably know. And I was invited for afternoon tea at Edgware Road and given such a lovely, warm welcome that it was very easy for me to come back tonight, say hello to everyone, particularly all of you at the back, and thank you for such a lovely welcome here. It's been a real pleasure to come back. Now, here we have some of the stars you might have just seen on the telly there. We've got Richard, we've got Shoshi, we've got Hannah, and we've got Daryl. And they're going to tell us a little bit in the flesh now about what it's like just being with Langdon and what Langdon has helped them do. So I'm going to start with you, Richard. And Richard has made the ultimate sacrifice, we should say, because he is a Man U fan. And you all know what's happening tonight. He has given up the chance to see them claim the league. And he's here. And Richard, tell us a little bit about what you did before Langdon.
I attended King David High School in Manchester. I went there for 5 years. And then in 2002, I went straight on to Langdon College.
And what did you learn from Langdon?
Just mainly the independent side, such as washing your own clothes, learning to cook, etc. You know, all those things.
And how do you live now? Tell us about your house.
Well, I live in a 3-bedroom house in Manchester with 2 other guys, Dan and Mark. It's been a lot better since I moved from being on my own in the past. It's nice.
You've got a job. It's not. It's nice means quite nice having those guys, but quite like to live on your own as well, wouldn't you? You could go either way.
It didn't work out.
Yeah, yeah. Fair enough. That's very honest. And you've got a job. Tell us a little bit about the kind of work you do.
I work in a warehouse called Monarch Glen. I pack and label items. My other role is I go on this special machine which shrink wraps items, and basically.
And that's a pretty full-time job, quite close to where you live.
Yes, about a 15-minute bus ride.
Yeah. And in your spare time, you like cycling?
Yes, and also going on my iPad.
Yeah.
Watching the football.
Yeah. And we know you've got a holiday with Langdon coming up.
Yes, New York.
New York. And you've done Spain before?
No,
You've got Spain as well, have you?
Yeah.
Will you be doing that as well? That's on your bike?
Yes, in June.
So a lot of chance to travel, to work. Yeah. And what are your hopes for the future, would you say? What would you like the next step to be?
To move on to a new place on my own, with a partner or girlfriend. Secondly, to achieve good health and happiness. And lastly, hold down my job.
Yeah. Richard, thank you very much. You have to be careful what you say here. There's a lot of matchmakers in that audience. Thank you very much, Richard. And this is Hannah. And Hannah, you were at King Solomon High School before you went to Langdon College. And give us a sense of what Langdon College gave to you.
When I was at Langdon College, I learned to live away from home. This was the first time I'd ever lived away from home. And I learned to live with staff support. And I learned to cook and clean and budget and do all sorts of things I never would have been able to do without Langdon.
And you live with friends?
Yes.
What difference has that made?
It's really good because when I want it, I can have the company of somebody else.
Tell us about the things that you can now do in the evening, because Langdon gives you quite a social life too, right?
Yes. I have a chance to do things like go to the pub with my friends, go out for coffee and do all sorts of other things.
And that's in the evenings, but during the day you're working?
Yeah. I'm currently volunteering in a Jewish care home.
And what kind of activities do you do? You work with elderly people, older people.
Yes. I spend time with the residents at the care home, help out over meal times and help out with the afternoon activities going on.
And what are your hopes going forward?
To continue to live an independent life and to gain paid employment.
Hannah, thank you ever so much. Good to hear that. Shoshi, we have to start by saying Mazel Tov to you. You've got a very exciting year coming up. Tell us about it.
Me and Ed got engaged. And the big day is 22nd of August this year.
Fantastic. And you met through Langdon?
Yes, through college.
How did that happen then? Were you doing the same sort of work or the same studies?
It was in my final year and in Ed's first year. And we started to know each other a lot and just get on really well.
And you got engaged last year. We also, of course, saw you in that film. Now, I know that you're quite you're a strict but very loving taskmaster at your school, aren't you?
Yeah.
Yes. Do they do what you tell them to?
Yeah, but most of the time, they behave anyway.
Do they?
Yeah.
Great. And just tell us a little bit about, obviously, Langdon was what brought you and Ed together. Tell us a little bit about what other skills or chances you think it gave you.
They taught me a lot of really independent skills. So I'm talking stuff like cooking, cleaning, laundry, budgeting, running your own place, and just leading a normal life generally.
What would, and this sounds a bit tricky, but what would it have been like if you hadn't had Langdon, do you think?
I would have been very shy, and I wouldn't get very far.
You see, it seems almost impossible to believe that you're such a confident, strong, articulate young woman here, but you think that those skills have really come from what you were taught.
Yeah.
And let me ask you, going forward, obviously the marriage is on your mind, and what are your other hopes for the future, or the things that you'd like to see happen in your life now?
Just continue to be more and more successful in life with absolutely everything.
Well, that's a fantastic hope, and we wish you well. Thanks, Sasha. We're going to finish with Daryl. Now, you attended Langdon College as well. Daryl, tell us a little bit about what Langdon gave to you.
They gave me the independence, and they helped me really, really well. And if I wasn't been in Langdon, I would have been doing nothing.
Right. And what sort of things have they given you? Give us some example of the sort of skills that you've learned.
They gave me independence, what I wanted.
Yeah.
And then they give me freedom. And
the way you're living now, you've got freedom, but you've also got friends close by.
I got friends close by.
Tell us a little bit about that then. You live on your own?
I live on my own, and then I was getting a job.
Yeah.
And I actually liked to get in the job.
Yeah, and you work in a charity?
Charity shop.
Yeah, and what kind of things are you doing there?
Putting books away, and doing helping the customers.
Yeah.
Doing putting the stuff in the carrier bag.
And I'm so indiscreet, aren't I? But you've got a girlfriend, haven't you?
Yes, I have.
And she lives nearby, I think, with Hannah.
Yeah.
Is that right? So you've got sort of ready-made flatmates as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, listen, Daryl, thank you ever so much. And thanks to all of you. It's just fantastic to hear your stories and really great to share them this evening. Thank you. Thank you.